A red sauce, or a simple marinara sauce, is a staple in Italian cooking. I'm Sugar from Cooking with Sugar TV, and today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make your own homemade red sauce. There's really no reason to buy ready-made sauces when it's so simple to make your own sauce. And when I make a big pot of sauce, I make a huge pot, so I'll freeze some of it in different size containers so that if I'm going to make a pizza or a pasta or any kind of Parmesan, I have different size sauces that I can pull right out of the freezer. Before we get started, I want to talk about the tomatoes that you're going to use. To make your sauce, you're going to want to use crushed tomatoes, so you could either buy them crushed or whole, and you can see the difference here because I've opened the cans. The crushed are already crushed, and the whole come whole with some of the sauce, so you could crush them in the blender or any way you like. Sometimes I just even squeeze them with my hands. Most chefs or foodies will tell you that the best tomatoes to use for a sauce are the San Marzano tomatoes. They grow in Naples near Mount Vesuvius, and they're supposedly the best in the world because the soil there has a lot of volcanic ash, and it creates this amazing flavor in the tomatoes. And they're beautiful, and they're usually sold whole in a can, but they're pretty expensive. So sometimes I might even combine these tomatoes with inexpensive crushed tomatoes, depending on the mood I'm in. So let me show you how easy it is to make this sauce. The ingredients you're going to need to make this recipe are olive oil, onion, garlic, crushed tomatoes, bay leaf, basil, salt and pepper, and a pinch of sugar, optional. Before I start my sauce, I like to chop my garlic and onion real fine. For the garlic, I use about 6 to 8 cloves depending on the size. And for the onion, I usually use about a half of a medium-sized onion for 4 cans of crushed tomatoes. Start by drizzling some olive oil into the pan. Adding your onions and your garlic. And you're going to want to saute that for a few minutes. And you don't want it to burn, you just want them to get transparent. This is the perfect time to give it a little bit of salt and pepper. My onions have been cooking about 3 to 5 minutes. Just stir them in between, and the garlic. And they're ready for the tomatoes. So I'm going to add my tomatoes. I'm also going to add about 3/4 of a can of water. You might need a whole can depending on how thick the sauce seems. I'm going to give this a stir. Then I'm going to add my bay leaf, my basil, and I just gave that a rough chop. And I'm going to put a pinch of sugar. And you don't have to, but I like it. Give this a stir, let it come up to a simmer, and then turn it down, and it's going to cook probably about a half hour to an hour. So my sauce has been cooking about 45 minutes. And in between I give it a good stir, making sure that it's not sticking or burning. And now's a good time to taste it to see if it needs any salt and pepper. Just give it a little more salt, a little more pepper. Now I'm going to give it one more stir. And if I wanted to, I could let this cook longer, but it actually tastes done. It's ready to serve. So now I just cooked up some pasta, and I'm going to put my sauce on top of the pasta and serve myself a dish. A little Parmesan cheese. And that's ready to eat. Let's give it a taste. Oh, it's so good. There's really no reason to not make your own homemade sauce when you see how simple it is. And this sauce is the staple for so many other recipes. Make sure you subscribe because I am going to show you how to turn that basic sauce into a chicken parmesan, an eggplant parmesan, and all kinds of other amazing Italian dishes. For more recipes like this, make sure you log on to cookingwithsugar.com and make sure you leave me a comment. I would love to know what you think of this recipe and some other recipes that you might want to see me cook. Make sure you tune in next week and see me make this sauce into a chicken parmesan. It's going to be fabulous. Marinara sauce. Did I say marinara? Make your own homemade. Right. Can you see the cans? Here? You can't see these. Yeah? What do you see? Can you see the cans? Ooh. Do you see me? You're all crooked. Can you see the cans? I didn't even think of that. Oh.